In the morning and then
Joyce?
What? I'm glad.
Thank you.
I thought maybe that way you could plant some things in your garden you could eat.
No, we are live.
We are live.
We are live.
And the microphone doesn't work.
It's amazing how many things actually are in the flower field.
I'm on a trip. Okay, am I just talking out loud because I can do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Woo!
Sounds good.
Good morning. Welcome in to Genesis Center for Spiritual Living. Please stand up and let's sing our opening song together. My name is Karen Williams. I'm a practitioner here at Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, and it is my pleasure to be with you today, to welcome you in here in person in our cozy, loving space. And I'm also happy to welcome those of you who are online, who are cozy at home and taking us in. You know, as long as you have a spiritual practice, that's what's important, and we support you in whatever choices you make to deepen your spiritual growth. So we have, as well as myself in person, we also have an online host. So our online host today is Cal Boyle. So if you're here, please say hi to Cal. Let him know that you're checking in with the family. And if this is your first time, if you would please let Cal know that this is your first time and what brought you here. We are continuing our ministerial search here at Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, and in support of that, we every Sunday read our Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer for our new minister, and we do that together, we do that out loud. So if you would please join me in reading this prayer. I recognize there is one life. This life is God's life. This life is my life now. I am one
shows up, expressing divine love, allowing truth and joy to heal all. I am embracing, teaching, and exploring spiritual truths from diverse spiritual teachings. I am teaching and embodying prosperity, trusting that God is the source of my good. I now accept this highest expression of spirit as myself, and I know this expression is now being revealed as the new minister that serves the highest and greatest good for Genesis. I am grateful, we are grateful, and so it is.
Thanks. Thanks for joining me in that. There's power in combined word. Genesis, even when we are in this liminal space, as our friend Cynthia Zink would say, we offer support to our congregation and to our members, and we do that in several ways. You can find out what we are up to on our Eventbrite, on our Meetup, on our webpage, genesiscsl.org, or on our Facebook page, Genesis Center for Spiritual Living on Facebook. Yes. Those things are, what we are doing is we have a weekly, I thought there was going to be something. Okay. We have our, it looks like, gosh, I'm trying to see what this says. Caring, safe environment, journey mending the heart, experiencing loss is universal. So this is our grief circle. Okay, we have a grief group. We have a grief group that is facilitated by Cynthia Zink, one of our practitioners, and by Diane Dyer, who is also one of our one-time practitioners. We also have every Wednesday an intention circle that we do via Zoom. All of these meetings are via Zoom, and a continuation of that great Zoom experience, also known as the pandemic. We also have, so our intention circle via Zoom, Sunday, every Wednesday. So our grief circle is the fourth Sunday. Intention circles every Wednesday, and then we also have a men's circle on Sundays also, that is the third Sunday?
Monday.
Third Monday of the month. So those are the things that we do regularly. We also have on Facebook a following the readings for reading the Science of Mind textbook, one day at a time, the whole entire book. Today, however, we are having a one-time only event with our own Reverend Eric, who is offering a workshop called Spiritual Practices for Better Living. That is after service today. It is a fun and fast-paced opportunity to pick up some techniques to bring head and heart into better alignment. This is a free offering, so if you are here, please plan on staying. If you're not here, you can make it in time, 11:45 for this workshop, 11:45 to 1:15, and it's free. Awesome. I don't know how I did with that, that's okay. This is the point in our service where we get to get back to that thing that we love about being together, like being in person, and that is that we get to stand up and greet each other. So please, take a moment to do that. For those of you on Facebook, chill. Write a note to Cal.
Good.
Hey.
up and really greet each other properly. Spend some time with it. Cal, do we have any first timers?
Nope.
Okay. Everybody here is a friend and a family member. No new people here, so we'll move on. I do not have, as I usually do when I'm really good at my job, an example of our prayer cards. So if you do not have the prayer card and the envelope that looks like this, thank you, Vanna. If you don't have this, just raise your hand and we'll bring that to you because we'll be using that later in the service. This is an opportunity right now for me to thank our volunteers. Genesis is a small and mighty family. We're not just a community, we're really a family, and we rely on each other. And if you decide to come and visit Genesis, you know that you can rely on us. We have people who make this service happen. You know, building the stage and building our refreshments here and having the space for fellowship, setting up the chairs, taking down the chairs, doing a reverse process. There's always somebody here who's making this service happen, and there's a combination of us, and I would like to acknowledge those people right now. So it looks like on our projector and video is Michael Johns in the back. He's kind of our reliable. Okay, should I have said that? Our sound tech, I believe, is Cal this morning. Thank you. He's always working on making us sound good. He's also our online host. Our service practitioner today is Anna Hawthorne. And so I'd like to take a moment to remind everybody of the value of a practitioner. And a practitioner in Centers for Spiritual Living doesn't just come up and do reading and give a prayer during service. They also offer their consciousness to the community and beyond. So if at the end of service, if you would like to get to know Anna a little bit better, or if you would like just to call on her to celebrate something with you, to help you heal something, to help you recognize something, she is available to do that after service, and then you can always reach her in other ways if you're wanting to book a session or something really awesome like that. We have several practitioners at Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, and if you'd like to find them, you can do that on our website. All right. Well, that was easy. Okay, so we're at that point, Mike, where we're ready to move right into centering and to open ourselves and prepare ourselves to receive the message today. So we're going to begin that by standing and singing our centering song, and then Anna will come up and do our reading prayer.
Namaste.
Good morning, Genesis.
Good morning.
My name is Anna. And I was called upon to do the practitioner duties today. And it's so funny, you know, how God leads us on our journey and our paths, and just getting out of your head and allowing Spirit to just guide the way is sometimes challenging as a human, sometimes challenging to not let your ego get carried away and like you're in control, right? So this morning was a beautiful example of that for me. And I'm going to do a reading from my well-tattered, well-used book that I love, The 365 Science of Mind. And I had picked out a reading, and then just for laugh, giggles, and kicks, I thought, well, I'm going to see what today is in the book. Because, you know, it's by day, by month. And I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, no. This one's perfect, as it always is. So the title of this one is, I am happy in the harmony of God. Now, there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh in all. And that's Corinthians. We do not all have the same gifts, because no two anythings are ever alike. Nature never reproduces anything identically. And there are diversities of operations. We are all engaged in different types and sorts of activities that express the unique individualization that each one of us are. But it is the same God working in all of us. This is one of the most terrific concepts we could entertain, that out of all the variations of life, of faith, the infinite variety of color and the form of people, the rosebud, the elephant, the snow-capped mountain, the tiny mouse in the field, one power is working. One life is being expressed. One energy is animating. One presence flowing through and one law controlling. The one mind is working in and through us now, not as big or little, or hard or easy, but merely as spontaneous self-expression. Back of our smallest act is the strength of the universe. Behind all our thoughts is the infinite thinker. Diffused through our human activity is the divine presence. So I'm going to go ahead. There's some more of the reading, and it's going to center us in prayer. So if you would like to close your eyes at this point in time, I'm going to do this reading and just, accept the realization and the beauty of God as is. So let us begin. So as God is, that one life, that one presence, that one law, that one spontaneous power working in and through me, I know that right here and right now that same presence of love and power and beauty is working through each and every one of us, and working through everyone and everything there is. Today, I am realizing that all my thoughts are formulated in the divine mind. All of my actions are sustained by the infinite energy. All the power there is and all the presence there is right where I am. Therefore, I open the channels of my thought to the influx of this divine presence that is now doing something unique and different through me. Unique and different through each one of us. I feel the impact of this presence in my own mind. I sense its feeling and imagination in my own thinking. that doeth all things. Therefore I surrender myself completely to that one power, that one all-knowing mind, that one presence, which is beauty and love and peace and joy. I surrender to it. And as I surrender, I can express and feel the compassion as knowing everybody has that ability and capability and is acting as that one divine love. With that, I am so grateful for these words. I am so grateful for this time, so grateful for this Genesis family, so grateful for Eric Woodell and the message and the workshop that follows. I just release these words of love into that law, into that universal law that says yes. I let go, I let God, and so it is. I would like to take this opportunity now to introduce our guest musicians, Cindy Akana and Shane Peck. Shane Peck. And I'm just so thankful you're here.
Yes.
So thank you. I'm so thankful.
Thank you.
Today we are doing the wisdom from Hinduism. And although I was raised in a Christian culture, I didn't really go to church, and I didn't really relate to Christianity. I remember once as a kid, a friend of mine brought me to a Catholic Mass, and it just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I couldn't relate to it. And then at a certain point in my life, when I was really in crisis and I needed something, I was sent to a yoga ashram in the Bahamas, and I really connected. I really had a spiritual experience. I had a numinous experience. I had a very divine connection. And so Hinduism is close to me. I practiced and taught yoga for a long time. I'm not an expert, and I am not an ordained Shiva priest, but I know some stuff. And I love the Bhagavad Gita.
And so we're mostly focus on the Bhagavad Gita today. First of all, Bhagavad means God, and Gita means song. So it's really the song of God. So if anyone, you hear everybody's probably heard of the Bhagavad Gita, it's the song of God. And I'm going to be quoting from a really brilliant and easy to follow translation by Jack Hawley, H-A-W-L-E-Y. If you want to check it out, there's a lot of different translations, and the translation you read can really make a big difference, just as there's many different translations of the Bible, right? All different kinds. Okay, and his is called the Bhagavad Gita, A Walkthrough for Westerners. And it's a fantastic translation. There's a lot of very culturally specific references and throughout, and he really makes it easy to understand. And another thing that I want you to know about the Bhagavad Gita, okay, so who has ever seen a Bible? Okay, so the Bible is like 66 books. It's an anthology of 66 books, right? There's a book of this and the book of that and the Testaments and Revelations and all that. And this is the Bible. Now, the Bhagavad Gita is contained within an epic called the Mahabharata. And the Mahabharata is 15 times as long as the Bible. So imagine 15 Bibles lined up side by side. And the Bhagavad Gita is this little thing in the middle of the Mahabharata. And it's like a work of absolute genius and contains everything you need to know about Hinduism. Like there's this, you can read the Mahabharata, which is a big sprawling epic, or you can read the Bhagavad Gita. And it has everything. So, it's like a superhero movie with good guys and bad guys and superpowers and a great battle of good and evil. And the story goes like this. There's a framing device, and then there's the bulk of it. And this is the framing device. So there's this blind old king named Dhritarashtra. And he asks his minister Sanjaya, what's happening on the holy plain where the mighty armies of my son Duryodhana and the armies of his cousin Arjuna are gathered to fight? He's like, Sanjaya, tell me what's happening. And it's significant that he's blind. He's a blind king. And he asks his minister, what's happening on the field? And the old man knew that his son's decision to go to war was wrong. Dhritarashtra felt pangs of conscience, but had said nothing when his son cheated Arjuna's family out of the rightful kingdom and then denied their request for even a trifling piece of the land that was rightfully theirs. So he's blind, and he's not doing the right thing. Nor did the old man try to change his son's mind when Duryodhana sneered at all the recent peace overtures Arjuna's family had tried to make. Unlike the old blind king, Sanjaya is such a virtuous servant to the king that he has the superpower of being able to see what's happening on the battlefield, which is 80 kilometers away. So there's the blind king who can't see anything or do the right thing, and there's a minister who can see what's happening 80 kilometers away. So already we got a superpower. Mm-hmm. Did I say that he was a virtuous servant to the king?
Yes.
Okay. And he describes the two giant armies arrayed against each other. Each side contains men who are either related to each other or have some personal connection to the warriors on the opposing sides. And he tells the king that a conch shell has been blown and all the armies have come to life, blaring forth their conches, kettle drums, cymbals, cow horns, and trumpets. The battle is about to begin. It's an epic battle between the evil Duryodhana's army and the virtuous Arjuna's much smaller army. What's happening now? Asked King Dhritarashtra, as his guilty conscience makes him squirm on the throne. Arjuna has instructed his charioteer Krishna to place my chariot between the two armies. I want to take a look at everything before the battle begins, and time stands still. How many people have ever seen or heard of anything called a Marvel superhero movie? And how many people know that there's a character called Quicksilver who can move so fast that everything is frozen? So just before this battle is going to begin, The whole Bhagavad Gita takes place in a moment where time is standing still. Okay? It's such a leap of the creative imagination. And this is the context in which we find out everything we need to know about Hinduism. Okay. Arjuna now soulfully takes in the scene, staring especially at his paternal uncles, teachers, cousins, and various benefactors, friends, and comrades on both sides. Seeing my kinsmen gathered here, ready to fight, all of a sudden I am overwhelmed by my emotions. We are outnumbered. I see bad omens for our side, and I can't see any good coming from slaying my relatives. Now I don't even desire victory, or a kingdom, or pleasures. Of what use are they? Of what use is this life, Krishna? At those final labored words of Arjuna, Sanjaya stopped his commentary for a moment and then told the old blind king what he saw. Now, the great warrior prince Arjuna, overcome by anguish in the middle of the battlefield, slumps to his chariot seat, flings his bow and arrows to the floor of the chariot. And it occurred to me, isn't this like every superhero movie where at some point they all stop and have a big philosophical conversation? Right? Like, you know, we're arguing with each other, and are we good? Should we fight this battle? And why are we doing this? And all that stuff. Okay. So, and by the way, Arjuna mysteriously has no clue that his charioteer is none other than Krishna, the 8th incarnation of Vishnu, one of the major gods of Hinduism. He hasn't figured out that Krishna is a god, even though Krishna is always depicted as being bright blue, because he contains a cosmic calm and serenity. But Arjuna doesn't seem to notice that his charioteer is God. Did y'all get it? So there we are, Arjuna and his friend Krishna sitting in this chariot. Time is standing still, and the rest of the Bhagavad Gita consists of Krishna answering Arjuna's questions and basically laying out all the important aspects of Hindu philosophy and teaching. And there's a long discourse, it's not really that long, but there's a discourse about karma, reincarnation, meditation, states of consciousness, various forms of yoga, the nature of the human soul, the ultimate goal of life, being conscious union with the divine and no longer needing to incarnate on earth, and all that stuff. And after the end of this big long pep talk, Arjuna is encouraged to enter the battle and fights with ferocity and gains fame as the war's outstanding hero. So at the end, there's a little recap, and it goes, and Arjuna fought the battle, and he won, but he still needed Krishna's help to do it. Okay? Now, of course, this story is not just about a warrior questioning his dharma of fighting a battle. Mahatma Gandhi, who is the modern world's greatest exponent of nonviolence, worshipped the Bhagavad Gita and spent his entire life studying it. And he would have said that his whole movement of nonviolent protest was guided by the Gita. How could this be? How could the greatest exponent of nonviolence take as his guide this story about a warrior fighting the battle of good and evil and winning? Okay, it's because it's metaphor. You know, a lot of the problems that we have in society today is caused by fundamentalism. People who read sacred scriptures and say we have to take them literally, when in that time period, they were all talking in metaphors. It was all metaphors. So everything in the framing story of the Bhagavad Gita is a metaphor. The blind old king is that aspect of herself that can't see what's really going on. The blind old king is that part of us that is overwhelmed by materiality, that's afraid to do the right thing, that is afraid or unable for some reason to follow our conscience, to speak up, can't really see. And that doesn't act honorably. Sanjaya is that aspect of us that is capable of seeing the spirituality of all things, that really does understand what's going on, and that has insight. How many of us have been at that place where they go, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's the right way. I should go this way. Should I do this? Should I do that? And then at some point, you have a dream, or someone kicks your ass, or you see a practitioner, or you take a class, or you just, squint at the sun the wrong way, and suddenly it comes through, and you're like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's the aspect of us that is Sanjaya. Because the truth is, we all really do know. We really all can know. So we can be Dhritarashtra, or we can be Sanjaya. Arjuna is that aspect of us that questions what is the meaning of life. Is there anyone here who has never at some point wondered, what is all of this? What is this life? And why do we bother? Is there anyone who's not ever asked why we bother? Right, okay, that's Arjuna. Why is there suffering? And that is also open to receiving instruction from the higher self. And Krishna, of course, is the divine presence that's always at hand, ready to reveal, to instruct, to guide, and to deliver us to our fulfillment. So I'm going to go into a little bit of the dialogue, or the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Not a lot, but a little. So Arjuna asks, why should he enter the battle? Because he's either going to lose and die in shame, or he'll win but only by killing his friends and family. That's a very reasonable question. I really, you could see him going, this is like a lose-lose.
Yes.
I'm going to die in shame, or I'm going to kill people I love, and then win, and it'll be a hollow victory. And Krishna answers by reminding Arjuna that no one really dies. No one really dies. This life force comes and goes in a body for a time. The wise person does not get caught up in the delusion that he or she is the body. This is an important detail. Okay? So anything that you fear risking, just remember, your body is planned obsolescence. It's designed to totally fall apart. Right? Everybody take a nice deep breath. Isn't that great? The body is designed to completely shut down someday. And life is a terminal disease that's sexually transmitted. Okay? The serene person, unaffected by worldly feelings and sensation, is the same in pain and pleasure and is not distracted by questions of winning or losing. When you are operating from the higher vibration, nothing can really bother you. Ramana Maharshi took 4 years to die of bone cancer, which is, I hear, extremely painful, and he had a beatific smile on his face the whole time. And everyone wanted to be around him because he was the presence. When you are the presence, the body is just a convenience. It's not a hindrance. It's not something you desperately fight to keep and to stay with. All beings, this is Krishna speaking, all beings are temporary. Before birth, they are unmanifested. At birth, they become manifested. And at their end, they again become unmanifested. What's all the fuss? Grieving over the temporary just uses up your energy and holds back your spiritual growth. That's the key point. And when Arjuna reasonably asks, well, if living and dying doesn't matter, why does anyone do anything? And Krishna says, your duty is always to your higher self. As a warrior, your dharma is to fight the battle of good over evil. That is your path. And I would say to all of us, we are in a struggle of the higher vibrations versus the lower vibrations. Okay? So the higher vibration is, I don't smoke. The lower vibration is, give me the cigarette. The higher vibration is, eat healthy. The lower vibration is, I'm going to eat a bag of Oreos. The higher vibration is, I'm going to be loving and forgiving. And the lower vibration is, I'm going to judge everyone and hate everyone. We're all fighting something. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Right? Okay. A mother's dharma is to be the holy mother. A teacher is to be the selfless, compassionate guru. An architect is to build sacred spaces, beautiful spaces, useful spaces. A musician's dharma is to enact the essential divine harmony and vibration of the universe, and to lift the soul through the power of music. An artist is to express what is seen by the divine sight. And this is the key instruction of Krishna. Do everything that you do in service to the one. If you're going to do something, why not do it great? Right? I walk along, I'm so bad, it's so terrible. I go for walks in my neighborhood, and I am grading the houses in the yards. That's an A house, that's a C yard. That's a lovely garden, that house should be knocked down. If you're going to build a house, why not build a beautiful house? If you're going to build a house, why not build a beautiful house? If you're going to have a house, why not have a beautiful home? If you're going to have a yard, why not have a beautiful yard? If you're going to wear clothes, why not wear good clothes? I'm just saying. Okay. To the higher self, without attachment to the fruits of your work. That's the goal. Strive always to come from the highest consciousness with the highest purpose. That's the way to live the best life. That's the way it is to live the best life. And that is the duty of religion, to help us live the best life. The ideal Arjuna is to be intensely active and at the same time have no selfish motives, no thoughts of personal gain or loss. Duty uncontaminated by ego, desire, leads to inner peacefulness and increases effectiveness. This is the thing. Because, we live in the 21st century, and we're very much living the life about computers and efficiency, right? That's really, how can we do everything faster and technically more perfect and all that? Well, let us not lose our soul in the course of that. And let's remember, why do we bother to have computers? It's very funny to me that people fight to keep the coal industry alive. Because what a shitty job. In its day, what an honorable job. When it was the best that we had, a virtuous sacrifice to go down into those mines and destroy your health so that people would have heat. But if there's something better, where you don't have to go down under the earth, where you might be flooded out, where the thing might collapse, where the mine might catch on fire, where you wouldn't have to die a slow, horrible death from lung disease, why fight to keep that industry going if there's a better idea? I'm just saying, and now I'll get back off my phone. This is the secret art of living a life of real achievement. Now, Krishna says, no matter who you are made for a divine purpose. Arjuna, you are the excellent warrior fighting the fight of good over evil, or advancing, as I said, the higher vibrations of the lower ones. Do not let the details of material life distract you from your higher purpose. And number one, have no fear of death. I had my annual checkup on Thursday, and the doctor said, how's your life? And I said, fabulous. I have a wonderful life. I love my house. I love my husband. I love my cat. I love my car. I love my neighborhood. I love my garden. I love my relatives. I love my friends. I'm financially free. I'm so grateful that I have a wonderful doctor like you and that I have health care and all this stuff. And when I finished this whole thing, he was like, I don't hear that very often. And how is that? 28 years of new thought. Everybody take a deep breath. 28 years of living a spiritual life, following spiritual teachings, doing spiritual practices. Can I get an amen? Amen. Because it didn't start out like that. Okay. And then the capper was the story about my doctor. I told him the story about how when I was about 32, I produced this theater festival, and it was hugely successful. It was a 2-night thing. It was just completely great. Everything about it. And the next day, I had planned to take the day off. It was in June, beautiful sunny day, and I was standing on 15th Avenue on Capitol Hill waiting for the bus. And I just had this huge feeling descend through me. And I said to myself, I have done what I came here to do. And I don't need anything else. Anything that happens after this is gravy. And that is why, although I do fear the pain that may come with physical death, I am ready to go. Every day. It's very rare that I don't have a day where I think, I could die today. This could be a good day to die. I get on a plane, I think, I could go down in this plane. I get in the car, I could go in this car. Right? And it's okay. Because at 32, I'd accomplished some profound desire that was set in motion from I don't know how many lifetimes before that. Because I have to tell you, this theater festival was perfect! Sold out. It was magnificent. It was so great. And I said to him, you know, I don't fear death. And I said, and I bet you don't hear that very often. He was like, no, I don't. Okay. You come and go into form and go out of form. This is perfectly natural and nothing to be terrified of. And always your inner guru, the higher self, is always at hand, ready to offer guidance and encouragement. This is the teaching of Hinduism. This is the teaching contained in the Bhagavad Gita. Being guided by the essential principles of Hinduism is a certain roadmap for successful living. And since science of mind is a synthesis of all that is taught in all the religions, everything that matters, that's significant in Hinduism is contained within science of mind. And that's why we teach prayer, meditation, spiritual study, giving, tithing, selfless service, forgiveness, healthy living. Even though there are a few overt references to Hinduism in the Science of Mind textbook, we know that Ernest Holmes was greatly influenced, especially at the end of his life, by the Hindu sage Sri Aurobindo. And has anyone ever tried to read anything by it? Okay. It's like Science of Mind with more words. Yeah. Science of Holmes and Aurobindo, and Aurobindo's life philosophy is a synthesis of idealism, realism, naturalism, and pragmatism. According to him, there's three kind of paths of yoga. There's Jnana Yoga, which is studying the scriptures. There's Bhakti Yoga, which is devotion, prayer, chanting, worshiping, rituals, flowers, altars, all that kind of stuff. And Karma Yoga, which is selfless service. And he describes a synthesis of spirituality, creativeness, and intellectuality. Sound familiar? Yeah. Mm-hmm. According to him, the mind of man is limited but can be transformed into a supermind which can have an understanding of the integral truth. He said man will become a supermind, and supermind will have a supermental consciousness, which in Hinduism is called Satchidananda, or the thing itselfness in bliss. Wow. Satchidananda is the thing itself in bliss. The thing itself in bliss. And that's very Science of Mind. According to Aurobindo, the individual soul is in the continuous process of evolution to attain the supreme soul, and that is so Science of Mind. So what I am going to do is I'm going to end with two things. I'm going to remind us of what we believe. And in the context of what I have just said, it's going to sound remarkably like Hinduism. Okay, so this, when in 1922, I think it was, someone asked him, what do you believe? And he said, we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. That means it exists within itself. God was not created, it's the isness. And this one manifests itself in and through all creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. And it's so hilarious because my computer made a mistake and printed that type in the tiniest type imaginable. Okay. We believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in everyone, that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. This is total Hinduism, right? Total Hinduism. Everything is an expression of God. Every living thing is the thing itself. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. Pure Hinduism. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. Krishna says to Arjuna, it's right now. It's right here. Don't worry about dying. Do your work. Do it. Live today. Live in this moment. Find bliss in the moment. In the Tao Te Ching, it says, the person who is beyond the praise and blame of the world has conquered the world. We believe that the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. A really pure, evolved soul, that grandmother who is just completely sweet and loves everyone and everything, that's it. We're heading to that. We're heading to that place where we're just the pure presence of love. We believe in the unity of all life and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. And I love that because it's not just there's something out there that's big and powerful, behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz, that's watching us. That song, God is watching us. That's the belief that God is out there and is big. And we're saying it's not only out there, it's out there. There's probably something that's watching everything. And it's also right here within us. And they're the same thing. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of the individual, and that any person who lives in close contact with this indwelling God may become a revealer of truth. I love all those stories about, the identical twin who suddenly goes, something's up with my twin, who's like on another continent. And that's the moment when the twin was in an accident. All the time, the mother wakes up, there's something up with my son. The son, passed away. Like, we can know. Everything is known, which is scary. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. And herein lies the basis of our belief in prayer. That everything is just not random bits of data or atoms or chemicals, but that there is a vibration. It's so funny to me. We live in this world, like this room, we now understand, is the crossroads of like signals from that machine and that machine and that machine and that machine, and like the cell phone tower over there, and there's a TV station that's broadcasting something, and it's moving through this room because it has to go through this room to get to like the TV in the next building. Like everything is moving around through here all the time on the invisible, and then we act like, oh, well, I don't know, it's all just so random. It's like, not so random. Not so random. I still am so blown away. I've said this before, but it's just so incredible to me. We send this hunk of metal, and we send it off, we get it outside the atmosphere, and we send it to Pluto. We send it to Pluto, which is like really far away. It's like way far away. We can't even conceive of how far away it is. And it gets there, and it clicks something and takes in an image, and then the image is converted to electrical impulses, and then they send them back, and it goes right back to NASA. From Pluto to NASA. Yeah. And then they convert it into pictures, and now we see what Pluto looks like. And people are like, oh no, it's just a very random universe. I don't know. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind, and we believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. So when I say wisdom from Hinduism, you can study Hinduism, or you can study the science of mind. Now I'm going to ask the musicians to get into place, because this is how I'm going to end today. I'm going to chant in Sanskrit, and it's called Om Trayambaka. Om Trayambaka. And I have water. I'm going to give you the translation now, so that when I do it, you'll know what I'm doing. Okay. We worship the ever-seeing One who is fragrant and who nourishes well all beings. May the divine liberate us from death for the sake of immortality, even as a fruit is fulfilled when it's severed from the vine. Lead me from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from mortality to immortality. That is whole, this is whole. From the whole becomes manifest. From the whole, when the whole is negated, what remains is still the whole. Om Shanti Shanti, Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Okay. Thank you. And then you sing when I'm done singing. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhi Pushti Vardhanam Murvaroki Vipavandhanam Mitror Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhi Pushti Vardhanam Murvaroki Vipavandhanam Mitror Mukshiyamamritat. Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mitror Mamritam Gamaya. Om Purnamidam Purnam Hasya Purnamadaya Purnamavavashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace, peace, peace.
Touched the ungodly and defended women in shame in an age when hardly anyone dared. I also already walked on water, but his loving deeds and words said heaven walked on earth. Heaven walks on overcome the power
more of that, we have 2 CDs over here on the table. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, both of you. Beautiful. Give it up.
Thank you, Shane.
Yes. Little handy dandy prayer cards and your offering envelope, bound by that beautiful little pen. Now's the time. So take a moment if anything has moved you during the process this morning and you want to ask for an additional blessing. Please write that on your prayer card, and our practitioners here at Genesis will pray on that all week. Take a moment, practice prayer. Shows up. If you're on Facebook, please visit our website at genesisesl.org, or you can text your tithe to 206-800-7595. Let us take a moment to craft our financial gift. Offerings, and if you feel called to put them next to your heart as we read our offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am thankful. And so while we do our offering, we will sing together, God is my source. have initiated that law of reciprocity, that law of circulation. As we give, so shall we receive. Blessing this offering as it multiplies, pressed down and overflowing into all that is. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you for joining us today. Please stay for fellowship and conversation. Also, workshop, 11:45. Those of you, there's still time. Get in your car, get on over here. It's free, free, free. All right, let's sing our release.